Welcome back to another video. My name's Lisa Jane, and if you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video, and if you are returning, thank you as always for your continued support. Today's video is none other than my September TBR. I am so excited for this one. If you couldn't tell, we are literally still in the middle of August and I am so ready for autumn. It's unbelievable. And if you've seen a video, you probably would have seen it beginning of this month. And it was my autumn book bingo board that I have created that I want to use during September, October and November. Now, that bingo board is there for you to use as well. Please do feel free to head to my community tab and take a screenshot of the bingo board over there. You can use it. I'm absolutely happy for you to join in. Please do let me know if you do join in, because I would love to see what books you are reading as well. I have the bingo board here in front of me. I think you're probably quite familiar with this by now. But yeah, I'll be using it in September, October, November, and we will be pulling 6 prompts each month, which equates to the whole 18 prompts on the board. I think that's everything I want to say about that. I will pop a picture of the bingo board each time I pull a coordinate so that you can see the prompt, but I don't want to leave it up all the time because obviously it covers the books. We do have a fair few books on this cart. You can't actually see them all top and bottom, and I do have in front of me a list of Kindle books, ones that I've bought and ones that are on Kindle Unlimited that I would love to get to. The problem is these months just fly by that you just can't get round to each and every book that you want to read. For this book bingo, I have my coordinates in my autumn jar. I had to totally go all in, so I have an autumn jar which I bought from the range, which I absolutely love. This is going to have an LED candle in it eventually, and then I've done some coordinates on autumn themed paper. So we will pull a coordinate, match it to the bingo board and see what prompt we get. Prompt or coordinate number 1 is, I'm going to go right to the bottom and pull out this one. And it is C2. So if I pop the bingo board up for you now on the screen, you will be able to see that C2 is read a cozy fantasy, which is just lovely. We love cozy fantasies. I don't like to read them all the time because then it gets a bit, I don't want to use the word boring, but yeah, I can't read them all the time, but I don't mind reading them now and again. Cozy fantasies though, I think for that prompt, I've probably only got one that I would class a cozy fantasy. I'm just having a look at my Kindle list in front of me. I would say for a cozy fantasy, I'm going to go with this one, which I think actually is quite a nice one for September, and it is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. I read The Secret Society of Irregular Witches, I think it was last year, and really enjoyed that one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It just says, once Sarah Swan was one of the most powerful witches in Britain. Then she resurrected her great aunt Jasmine from the very recently dead, lost most of her powers, befriended a semi-villainous talking fox and was exiled from her guild. Now she helps Jasmine run an enchanted inn in Lancashire, where she deals with their quirky guests, shenanigans and longs for a future that seems lost, until she finds out about an old spell that could restore her power. And then it just goes on. But yeah, it just says running an inn, reclaiming lost power and staying one step ahead of the watchful guild is a lot for anyone, but Sarah is about to discover she doesn't have to do it alone, and that love might be the best magic of all. So yeah, I don't think it's very high stakes. I could be wrong. Please let me know if you know different. But yeah, this is going to be book number 1 for a cozy fantasy prompt number 2, or coordinate number 2. I keep saying prompt, but the coordinates, these ones. Let's go for this one. And this is E3. So again, I'll bring up the bingo board here for you to see. And E3 is a book under 350 pages. So we need a nice small book. So it's not going to be these chunky fantasies that I've got right in front of me. Let me move these to one side and let's have a look. So what books would I like to read? I don't even know if I have got under 350. Oh, that one's just literally over and I'm so desperate to read it, and it's business casual. It's 355. This one. Right, this one is under. So that is a potential option. Let me just look at a couple more. That's just over as well. I think this one's going to be, this one feels quite thick. Yeah, that one's over. I think this one and this one's definitely under as well. So I do have 2 options for a book under 350 pages, and that is Before the Coffee Gets Cold, which is book number 1 in a series by, I don't want to say that name actually. I'm going to put it on the screen there so that you can see who the author is, because I do not want to get that wrong. And I also have Secrets at Maple Syrup Farm, which is by Rebecca Raisin. What a name. That is just an amazing name, isn't it? Anyway, that's besides the point. So, Before the Coffee Gets Cold, I think it's about this magical coffee shop that you go into and you sit at a table and you get transported back into the past so that you can speak to people who are no longer with us, but you have to return back to the present before the coffee gets cold. I think that's sort of the premise of this one. I did start this before and I wasn't overly bothered by it at the time. I don't actually think I'm going to pick this one up. I think I'm going to pick up Secrets at Maple Syrup Farm, which is Lucy would have done anything for her mom, but she never experienced a promise to leave her. After her mom got sick, Lucy dropped everything to take care of her, working all hours in a greasy diner just to make ends meet and spending every spare moment she had by her mum's hospital bedside. Now Lucy is faced with a whole year of living by her own rules, starting by taking the first bus to anywhere, except she didn't expect to find her next big adventure just around the corner. When on her first day in town, she bumps into grumpy but oh so delicious Clay amidst the maple trees. So, surrounded by the cosy magic of Connecticut, could Lucy have the chance to change her future forever and finally discover a life she wants to live? So, it's just a cute little romance, which is going to be book number 2 on our September TBR. Now, we're going to get up the next coordinate, which is going to be this one. And that is B3. So again, we'll pop the bingo board here and you will see that B3 is moon or stars on the cover. So let's have a look what we've got. Moon or stars on the cover. No. That one is a possibility. Don't know if you'd class them as stars around the book. I could leave this one out though as a possibility. No. Oh yes, there is on that one as well. So we do have 3 possibilities. No, I think it's down to these 3. So we have a little bit of a mix. We have a fantasy, which is A Deadly Education. I have seen this a little bit on BookTube, but not very much, and I've definitely not heard any reviews on it. I think it is an older book. I'm going to look, and it came out in 2020, so it is, 6 years old, so that might be why. But this is a School of Magic, so this could be a good one. I do think they are stars, quite possibly. We then have Lila Sage's Soul Searching. I've not read anything by Lila Sage before. And I think this is book 1 in a interconnected series, I want to say. I don't think it's a series, if that makes sense. Honestly, I don't think it's a series. Yes, this is part of a Sweetwater Peak series. And it does have a moon on the cover. I just don't know whether I leave this one. I could read it at the end of September, going into October, or do I leave it at chance for October? That is the problem, isn't it, with these books? I don't want to leave them. So that is another possibility, and it definitely does have a moon in the background. And then we have Silver Cloak, which I'm assuming this is a big moon here. And this is another fantasy book. So it's whether I want a fantasy or a spooky romance. I think we will go with, I don't know. So this one says, 2 decades ago, the Blood Moons ruthlessly murdered Saffron's parents, destroying her idyllic childhood. Hell-bent on revenge, she lied her way into the elite Silvercloak Academy of Detectives with a single goal: find a way to bring the Blood Moons to justice. But on the eve of her graduation, her deception is exposed and she's given only one option: go undercover and tear the Blood Moons down from the inside. Descending into a world where pleasure and pain are the most powerful currencies, Saf must commit some truly heinous deeds to keep her cover and her life. Not only are there rival gangs and sinister smuggling rings to contend with, there's also a growing feelings for the Kingpin's tortured son and a curious prophecy foretelling his death at Saf's hand. I don't know. No, I think I'm going to go for A Deadly Education, and this says, enter a school of magic unlike any you have encountered. There are no teachers, no holidays, friendships are purely strategic, and the odds of survival are never equal. Once you're inside, there are only 2 ways out: you graduate or you die. So yeah, I think I definitely want to read this one. And I think it was £3 in the works, which is an absolute bargain. So we are going to put on A Deadly Education as book number 3 on our September TBR. Prompt or coordinate number 4 is going to be this one. And it says C5. So C5, as you can see, is books with pumpkins on the cover. So I think for this one, I am going to do a Kindle read. We are going to put a Kindle book on. We have on here, I've got a few actually. I've got The Pumpkin Spice Spell by Erin Branscombe, or The Cinnamon Spice Inn by Harper Graham, or The Cinnamon Spellbook Bakery by Ella Cook. Now, has that got a pumpkin on the cover? Let's just have a quick look. Oh, it does. It does. So, The Cinnamon Spellbook Bakery has pumpkins right there by his legs. I think I'd like to go for, because I've heard this series get a lot of love. Is there pumpkins on it though? That's it. Oh, there is. Right at the bottom. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see this. You're going to have to trust me. But right down here, there are some pumpkins. They are very, very small. There's actually one by the door as well, if you can see here. But I am going to go for The Cinnamon Spice Inn by Harper Graham. This is book 1 in the Maple Falls series. So I know there are a few books, and I know there's a new one coming out for this autumn in this series, but I need to read this one first. So yeah, I'm going to start this series and then work my way through it next year. So that is book number 4. So we've got a couple of romance, a cosy fantasy and a fantasy. So we have got a good mix, to be fair, on the TBR up to now. So let's go for coordinate number 5. I didn't tell you what that one was about, but it is just a small town romance. This one is A2. So if we get the book bingo card up for you to see, and A2 is read an autumn themed book. So I think for this one, are any of my fantasies autumn themed? I wouldn't say they are. I'm going to go with Business Casual by B.K. Borison. I'm a bit worried because I don't like to put too much romance on because it gets a bit too much for me personally. I like to break it up a little bit. But this is Business Casual, which is book number 4. It's the last book in the Love Light series by B.K. Borison. I have read books 2 and 3. I need to read 4, and then I'm going to read book number 1, which was the Christmas book, in December, and then I'll have read them all. But yeah, I've loved this. I've truly, truly loved the past 2 books that I've read. And it's just a small town called Love Light where you get to meet these characters and they feature in each other's books, which is really nice as well. So yeah, this is going to be book number 5 on the September TBR. We are a bit romance heavy, but then I do like these autumn themed books as well. That's why I put them on there. For our last prompt, we are going to choose coordinate. Oh, this one jumped in my hand. And this is A4. So again, if I get the book bingo board up for you, you can see that A4 is to read a spooky book. I actually don't think I've got any spooky books on here. I don't think any of these are particularly spooky. I've got a thriller, but I wouldn't say that's spooky. What do I do? Because I don't think Soul Searching's spooky. It's just like a Halloween-y type book, and Hot Hex Boyfriend is definitely not spooky either. Let me just check my Kindle. I don't think any of these are classed as spooky books. What I might do is leave it to you lot and see what book you choose. So I'm going to put a poll up at some point. You're not going to know what you're picking, but I will know what you're picking, and I'm going to choose some spooky books, and whatever book wins that poll will be the book that we read in September. But yeah, you won't know yet because I'm only just filming this, and I won't know yet because I haven't put the poll up yet. However, what I will do is, well, you will see it in my wrap up video which book won. So yeah, that's what we will do for book number, was that book number 6? Oh, it was book number 6. So we have chosen all of our books for September. I feel like that went really quickly, and I don't feel like I got many fantasy on, which is not always a good thing for me. However, it is just a bit of a library of books to choose from, so we will go from the beginning. So book number 1 was A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. Book number 2 was Secrets at Maple Syrup Farm by Rebecca Raisin. Book number 3 was A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. Book number 4 was Business Casual by B.K. Borison. Book number 5 was The Cinnamon Spice Inn by Harper Graham on my Kindle. So I'm looking forward to that one. Book number 6 is going to be a spooky book that you choose for me, and I will go and put that poll up now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you are going to join in the book bingo board with me. I'd love to see some of you doing this as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.